Mel. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Life Paranormal Podcast. I'm your host, Russell Reynolds, and we got my co-host, my dad, Russell Sr. We're coming to you live from a Sunday night. Before we get into it, we got to pay some bills. We do have a sponsor, so we do have to pay some bills and play the video.
I sing out loud, my voice lifts hearts. Tucker House proud when the music starts. Sawyer plays the keys, soul through sound. Carson's guitar shakes the ground. We're the dream team, and we love to sing. Tucker backs us up, he's such an amazing pup. He keeps the rhythm.
There you go, guys. If you want some children's books, be sure to check out the QR code. That'll take you right to the website for them. And get yourself some children's books for your kids. Make good bedtime stories, birthday presents, Christmas presents. Good for school libraries and regular libraries as well. So be sure to check them out. Before we get into the show tonight, we're going to plug a couple of events. Come check us out at West Kentucky Paranormal Expo, September 26th. My dad and I will both be there. We will be guest speaking at that event, so come on out, say hello to us, talk to us about Ed and Lorraine, the Warren's Cult Museum, paranormal investigation, demonology. We're there to educate you. The headliner for this year out there will be Aaron G. Thompson from 28 Days Haunted from the Netflix series that is based on the theory of our family, the Ed and Lorraine Warren. So come on, check that out. It's going to be a good event. Our cousin Kathy will be out there as well. We're going to make an announcement about that. We are in the process of building equipment right now. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Also, Kathy's got a lot of 3D printed items. We are doing Annabelle dolls, 3D printed, the movie dolls, as well as the Raggedy Ann dolls. We're going to be doing some music boxes as well, so be sure to check those out and be on the lookout for those. This is the speaker list of everybody that's going to be there. Aaron G. Thompson, us, the Winder Brothers, Outlaw Paranormal, who are friends of ours. Rachel DeMarco, 202 Podcast, Teps Investigate, Josh Morris, and several others that are going to be out there. So come on out and check that out, September 26th. For all the information, check out West Kentucky Paranormal Expo on Facebook or reach out to Ken10 Paranormal for all the info. Our next event, we just got confirmed today. We are going to be at Crypticon, Kansas City, the big horror movie convention. This is their first year doing paranormal there. My dad and I are going to be part of the paranormal panel. So get your tickets fast. People come from all over the world. There'll be a lot of awesome horror movie actors there as well. A lot of people dressed up in horror costumes and tattoos. If you want tattoos, my buddy Independent Tattoo Company out of St. Joe, Missouri will be there as well. So if you guys want tattoos, check them out. And we will be there. This will be our first year on the panel this year. We're just there hanging out, walking around, talking to our buddies and meeting the actors. But this year we are part of it. So come on out and check out that event. It's going to be a good one. They do a VIP event. They have different packages. I believe the gold package, you get the VIP dinner with the actors on Thursday night. Friday's VIP package, I guess you get access to all the after hours events. They do have live bands also all weekend. So it is this year in August for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So be sure to come check us out. Without further ado, we're going to get into the show. Tonight's topic we're talking about is haunted objects. And what are haunted objects? Haunted objects are basically vessels for something to attach to. You can take an object and manifest energy into it and create it as your own. Just like, as many of you know, Annabelle in the Warren's Occult Museum, in our cousin's museum, one of the most haunted dolls in the world. Many people say she isn't haunted, but I'm here to tell you she is. She does have something attached to her. The story is legit. There was a girl by the name of Annabelle Higgins who was hit by a car, and the psychic had told them they put her spirit into a doll. Well, in the theory of my cousin Ed and Lorraine Warren, God does not let a child inhabit a doll. For the simple fact, it's not part of life. Child is innocent. So they ended up getting rid of Annabelle. She went to a thrift store. Some nurses got her. They started manifesting energy into her as well. And Annabelle started moving, and they would put her at the table, and she would rest her arms up on the table. Finally, it started getting too crazy. They had enough with it. They tried to get rid of her. She showed back up, and hey, Carol, welcome in. Says, hey, Russell, yeah. Russ Sr.
Welcome in.
So she decided she was going to move around. She would write stuff on parchment paper, and she would do some bad stuff. So the Warrens ended up getting called for her, and they brought her home back to West Monroe, Connecticut. They had her sitting in the Warrens Occult Museum. Before she was put into a case, she did sit in a chair, which you see when you went on the tours for the museum, the movie doll Annabelle, the chair she was sitting in was the actual Annabelle chair. She did hurt a priest back when they first brought her home. She was sitting in that chair. The priest went to bring his new car over. He called Ed and asked about, "Hey Ed, I got a new car. I want to show it to you. Are you guys home? Can I come over?" So priest come over. They had lunch. He showed Ed his new car. Priest said to Ed, "Where's this new doll that is supposedly cursed and haunted? I'd like to see her." And Ed took him down to the museum to show her. And he told the priest, "Do not touch her." Well, Ed turned his back for a second. The priest grabbed the doll, held it up, shook it, and said, "God's more powerful than the devil," and threw Annabelle across the room. Well, Ed says to the priest, "What'd you do that for?" And he says, "Well, God's more powerful than the devil." And Ed says, "I told you not to touch her." And Ed says, "I understand God's more powerful than the devil, but you shouldn't have done that." He challenged Annabelle. Well, he was on his way home, and he looked in his rearview mirror, and all he saw was a flash of light and Annabelle standing there. And he ended up hitting a tree and totaled his brand new car, broke his ribs, broke his leg. He didn't die from it, but he got severely hurt. So she is a dangerous doll. It's another thing they manifest energy into it, and that's how you create a perfect storm with a haunted object, and that's why nobody touches Annabelle. As you see in the picture, Dan's gloves. Those gloves have blessed metals in all the fingers. St. Benedict's and St. Michael, the Archangel. And he's only moved her once to that new case that she's in right there. Dan had built that case. That case is infused in holy water, holy oil, blessed salt, the Lord's Prayers inscribed in it, and everything. So she cannot escape that case. She's bound to that case. But she can connect to you telepathically if you stare her in the eyes too long. When you go to see her, you are perfectly safe. As long as you don't challenge her, you don't look her in the eyes, and you're respectful. It's just like Robert the Haunted Doll down in Key West, Florida. You have to ask him to take permission to take pictures of them. And I mean, these dolls, they're dangerous stuff. I mean, our next doll is another one from the Warren's Occult Museum. That's just a plain toy dinosaur. If many of you talk to Arnie Johnson, that dinosaur right there is the item that possessed little Danny Glatzel. Now, that thing had no batteries in it. It's just a standard dinosaur. The thing started walking across the floor and says everybody's going to die. So that item is very, very dangerous. That is one item you do not want to mess with either. And you challenge stuff like that, it's going to challenge back. And a doll, that's why dolls and stuff are vessels for stuff, because they're innocent. People want to bring them into their house, play with them, and hold them up to their hearts. And then that attachment in that doll attaches to you, and there you go. You have the perfect storm with it. And just think, that's that toy that possessed that little boy, Danny Glatzel, that Arnie Johnson challenged it. Carol says, "I definitely do not like clowns or dolls." Right. I mean, even them porcelain dolls are kind of creepy too. They can be vessels too. I mean, there was just some innocent dolls that we had that are now locked up in the Warren's Occult Museum that are dangerous too. They were terrorizing a blind lady, and this lady could only see shapes and shadows, and she kept seeing this black shadow coming from where them dolls were. Now, them dolls would turn and look at the camera. They would grin, move their heads, all kinds of stuff. And even at a Paracon that we had them at, we had them bound in a case, but we took them out. We had them setting on the table, and it was setting the other team across from us their equipment off. And the one lady come over to tell us about what it was saying on the equipment, and her heart starts palpitating and skipping beats. She had to back away from the table, and that was a little doll that was only about this big with its eyes gouged out that our client called Little Annabelle. So, and then the next doll in the Warren's Occult Museum, this one's another one of the most dangerous dolls that they have. This is called the Shadow Doll. And this is homemade. It's made out of animal bones and animal feathers. It's got a human tooth sticking out of its mouth. This doll is using curses. And the curse is pretty bad. A person can die in their sleep. How strong this doll is, when Elton and the overnight crew were at the Warren's Occult Museum filming for their fundraiser, Dan had opened the case to the Shadow Doll, and the whole power grid went out in West Monroe, Connecticut. Killed everything, all the lights in the museum, everything. And Carol says, that one I can't even look at. Yeah, that one, she gives me more of the creeps than Annabelle does. The Shadow Doll is. And the curse is with her that if you take a picture of it, you write the person's name on the back of the picture and you send it to him. When that person opens that up, he sees the picture of the Shadow Doll and goes to sleep at night and has a massive heart attack. And Ed came by another one from a thrift store. Thrift store was having issues with it being in there, and they called Ed. Ed came and got it. Another creepy one, the Sandy Hook idol. This was found in the woods of Sandy Hook, Connecticut, back in the 70s by a hunter who was out deer hunting, and he found this statue made out of concrete sitting on a bunch of rocks. Well, they called Ed to come in. Ed came and got it, and they kept seeing this man dressed in black. It was used in satanic worshiping, and this was a satanic priest they kept seeing. And the guy was dead. It was a demonic entity, and this thing has got some energy attached to it as well. It's not very good. I mean, it gives off some vibes when you get near it, especially in the Warren's Occult Museum. But this is why you got to be very careful with haunted objects and handling them. You do not want these things touching your bare skin or mixing with anything on your bare skin, because that attachment can attach to you. Doesn't necessarily have to be a doll. I mean, it could be a stuffed animal. It could be a table. Whatever that energy is manifested into. And that's where, like, the stone tape theory comes in again. Manifesting energy in this stuff, and it's leftover energy. That's why we don't keep any haunted objects here at our house. And we were almost killed because of some haunted objects on our way home from a Paracon. So, I mean, like the Amish culture, and you know this with the Amish.
Yeah.
Their dolls have no faces. It's just a blank face. There's no eyes. Because in Amish religion, they believe that when they're staring at the eyes of a doll, they're staring into the eyes of the devil. So they don't have faces on their dolls for their kids. And they're big in the Christian religion and stuff like that. And so they believe in highly, and it's funny, even in the Amish religion too, they believe in the paranormal. They believe in the demons, they believe in all that stuff. They have a special place where they send their evil children to be exercised and stuff. So I mean, and a lot of religions are different too. I mean, when it comes to that stuff too. Need to use care and discernment when dealing with items that we don't know what could have attachments. Yeah. I mean, you go out to a thrift store, you're buying something in a thrift store, you have no idea where that came from. That was just handed in at a secondhand store. You have no idea. And whatever's attached to it, you're bringing it home to your house. I mean, you're buying dolls in the secondhand store, you're buying antiques. You don't know what's attached to that stuff. And then you bring it into your house, and then there you go. Same with your dolls and stuff you buy from there. I mean, you don't know what's tragedy. I mean, like the Warren Spire doll. That doll burnt down a whole orphanage. This doll right here was in an orphanage, and it burnt the whole orphanage to the ground, and the whole family in there perished. That is the only object in that place that didn't burn. So that should tell you something with it. And see, and it's just a standard baby, and that's another one that gives people, a lot of people, the creeps. The eyes on that doll will follow you. And I mean, so you need to kind of watch what you're buying from places and secondhand stores and stuff like that, because then you end up with stuff like that, and then it's in your house. My daughter purchased a leather couch that had an attachment. When she fell asleep on it, she woke up from being choked. I had her get rid of it immediately. Yeah. I mean, maybe somebody died on that couch and they weren't a nice person or something like that. And they're attached to that couch because that's the last place they were when they died.
Mm-hmm.
So their energy is attached to that. Their spirit's attached to that. You bring it into your house, different atmosphere for them. They're not used to that. So, and it could have been a nasty spirit. Person could have been a nasty person when it was alive. And I mean, even doing occult practices with items, you can attach demonic stuff to stuff you're using for occult items for practices. I mean, like that Buddhist sing bowl we had in book, that was used in demonic practices. The guy was using it for devil worshiping. And so you don't know. Yes, everything has energy and you need to be careful. Yeah, I mean, look at woods. Prime example. The woods have energy in it. Look at how many times on our game cameras we've caught something strange in the woods.
Yep.
We've caught strange mists in broad daylight. And it's enough to trigger motion in a camera. So Even in the woods, you deal with energy. Bigfoot's energy. Um, Same with the land. The land holds energy. I mean, a house holds energy. I mean, the walls in the house, everything. I mean, residual energy, intelligent energy, it holds everything. And that's why when you buy a house, you need to do some history research on it first, because a lot of states don't have to disclose that something tragic happened there or it's haunted. They don't have to disclose nothing.
That's like buying somebody's headache.
Yeah, like he said, you're buying somebody's headache when it comes to that. And when you're buying somebody's headache, especially you're bringing your kids into these houses, or say they left stuffed animals or dolls left over from when they lived there. They just left them in the attic or something. Your kids find them. You don't know. Again, you still don't know what's attached to that.
Just like that little girl, remember?
Yep.
Walked past us.
Yep.
The house.
Yep.
Says, I know who you are.
Yeah. The case that we worked with a little girl, and this little girl's eyes were as black as coal. Only 6 years old, had infant syndrome. She was shook as a baby. She had brain surgery. She walks up to him and goes, they know who you died and came back. They know who you are. She walked up to me, looked me in the eyes, and it felt like someone drove their fist right between my eye sockets.
Then everything, our equipment.
Then my equipment started malfunctioning. My millimeter spiked up to 130 degrees. Screen went totally blank. The EMF went off the chart. The REM pod went off on it, and then it just shut right down. Completely killed it. And that's when that little girl got near it. And she was sitting there playing with her toys, and it was like something was telling her where to put the toys, and she was throwing them. And the little girl was not acting right.
I seen what she was talking to.
And he seen what she was talking to. There's also a woman that walks down the hallway every night, and a bald guy that's there, because I described him to the homeowner. And the place is an old doctor's office. It was had a bullet hole in the door. There was blood still. Shade like what's behind me was in their kitchen, and there was blood still on the shade, dry blood.
And where we were sitting on the couch.
And where we were sitting on the couch, we were getting a headache because there was a portal underneath in the crawl space, and the brother was downstairs playing with Ouija boards. And she has a stack of them all over the house, and he was doing it for the wrong intention, and he didn't know what he was doing with them.
Oh, she wanted us back there.
She wanted us to come back, but the daughter's father didn't want us. He didn't believe in any of it, and I guess the little girl's still experiencing a lot of stuff, still acting the way she is. And because I'm friends with the grandma, but he won't let us back in to take care of the situation. And sometimes everything's not solvable when it comes to that stuff. But
we reported
it, and hopefully they'll get some help for her. But yeah, again, with the haunted objects, you got to be very careful with them. And I mean, like I said, you can manifest your own energy into it too. I mean, you can manifest dark energy into an object. If you focus on it long enough and you keep doing things with it and acting like it's alive, eventually you manifest your own energy into it, and then it becomes haunted.
Tell them about that voodoo that person gave you.
Yeah, I had a
Told you to get
person.
rid of
I had a person give me a voodoo doll straight from New Orleans, and it shows right on the back how to use it for bad.
I told you to get rid of it.
And I ended up getting rid of it because I don't use voodoo dolls. I don't mess with any of that stuff.
I've seen how they are.
And they do work. Voodoo is a nasty
Mm-hmm.
practice, and I mean it does work. I believe Ed and Lorraine got some voodoo stuff in the Warren's Occult Museum
yeah.
as well that
Yeah.
was used in voodoo practices.
It's well sealed.
And they even got a World War One skeleton foot. It is now in the Warren's Occult Museum. It was still in the shoe with the part of the pant leg on it. A person had this in their house, and it started wreaking havoc in there, and the house started going nuts. So they brought it to the Warren's Paracon and gave it to the guys, and the guys unraveled it in the Warren's Occult Museum at the Warren's Paracon. And if you go on my Facebook page, you will see it on there. I have a picture of it. And Carol says, sad that unsuspecting people can purchase those items. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and they think it's fun and games to play with them. They think, oh, having them in your house is fun, and they wreak havoc. They attach to you, and
Tell them about the one there sitting on the couch and you had your cameras. And the one was crawling up my leg.
yeah, we had a figure crawling up his leg with our SLS camera.
They try to get my powers.
And it was in a location that we did, a residential location, and the person ended up dying of a heart attack right there in the middle of the living room floor, and we caught it on our camera.
That house is bad.
And that house is bad. The owners had called us in because they were selling it, and they didn't want the new owners having to deal with the stuff that was going on in there. So we had to do some cleansings on a bunch of their stuff. In fact, we have to go to their new house, and they want us to do a cleansing there as well. And but people bring these haunted objects home, and they don't know what they're doing with them. They think, oh, it's fun to interact with them. You don't know what you're interacting with them haunted objects. I mean, just look at my cousin John Zaffis' museum, Ed and Lorraine's museum. It's all full of haunted demonic objects. I mean, this is why they collect that stuff, is to keep it out of the hands of people who don't know what they're doing with it.
Tell them about that. Oh, I can't think of her name. She was driving, and she almost got us in an accident with a semi. And we had to grab the steering wheel and pull over because she was like possessed almost.
Yeah, we were investigating with somebody, and we were on our way back from Indiana, and happened to look over, and I had nodded off for a minute because we were splitting the driving.
And I seen the eyes. Oh.
And he seen her eyes change, and she started heading for a semi. And I grabbed the wheel. I woke up about that time, grabbed the wheel, and we were that close to catching that semi in the back end. And if I didn't grab that wheel and jerk us over, we would have all been dead. And then I ended up taking over driving, and I drove the last 600 miles back.
Yeah, we put her in the back seat.
Old. Yeah, we had to throw holy water on her and all kinds of stuff. And It's not good. I mean, you going out, and this place had some haunted objects in it as well. So,
That's where we come, where you wear protection.
yep.
And if you don't,
That's why we wear a lot of protection when we're out there. And I mean, yeah, you may think you're protected by God, you got the armor, but those added little protections don't hurt to add them.
that's why we get stuff blessed from the Catholic Church and stuff.
Yep, we get a lot of stuff blessed from churches and stuff like that because of what we deal with. And I mean, we do haunted object removal as well, just like our cousins do. And we get them out of there, and then we send them off.
Like we did that one time, the hotel. I sat down and rang the bell.
Yep. Oh my goodness, your angels were watching over you, both of you. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we've had several close calls with stuff, and that's what the demonic wants to do, especially like us that are light workers. That's what they want. They know we know how to get rid of them. We know that's what we're about, helping people dealing with these issues. So that's why it targets us to try to get rid of us, because if it gets rid of us, we can't help nobody anymore.
like the hotel, remember?
Yep.
I rang the bell, and next month they were all standing there, even the owner.
Yep.
That big white light.
Big white light come around them. And I mean, that's even at Missouri State. There was a girl there when my family had some of the objects out there.
Oh,
She had what they call Pott's disease, and then she had spiritual drain because of the Nesper had the items out there as well, and then all the energy, and there's a lot of violent and dark energy in the prison, and it overtook her, and she was on her verge of passing out, and they thought they were going to have to call the ambulance for her, and he did some work with her, and she snapped out of it, and
that's on the light.
he had a white light go around him that he helped her, and whatever was messing with her, she was fine for the rest of the night.
They couldn't believe it.
She finished the event and went on. There was another lady there. We had to do a cleansing on her as well because she wasn't feeling herself. We stopped to take a break, and I was getting some equipment because we were going out on free roam, and I got looking at her, and I'm like, ma'am, are you okay? You do not look good. And she says, I'm not feeling myself. I said, all right, come with me. And we did a cleansing on her. And then she was fine for the rest of the night. But see, you got to be very careful when it comes to that stuff. And I mean, we got to do spirit box sessions with Shadow Doll, the Fire Doll, the Devil Made Me Do It, Dinosaur. And even in my picture, the movie Annabelle doll, I took a selfie with her. And before I took the selfie, I took just a plain picture of her. And you see coming up on the wall a shadow of a hand, and its fist is clenched. When I take the selfie with her behind me, the hand's open like this, like it's ready to grab me. Because the chair that she's sitting in is the actual chair Annabelle sat in.
Tell them the time when I was sitting on the bench at the prison, Annabelle, eyes looked right at me. She went that way. Remember the head? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that wasn't Annabelle. That was the Fire Doll.
Yeah, Fire Doll.
The Fire Doll was turning its head, turning its eyes.
Looking right at me.
They've got Halloween masks in there that were used in sacrifices of children. And those I took pictures of, and they were turning and looking at me. Because those items, whatever attached to them, and demonic entities, they know who you are. They knew right away that we were related to the Warrens. So they knew who we were already when we got there. And same with Annabelle. Annabelle knows who we are. And the story on the motorcycle one with Annabelle also, she there was a guy and his girlfriend that came to see the museum, and he challenged Annabelle, and Ed ended up throwing them out of the museum because of the way they were acting. And on his way home, his girlfriend was on the back of the motorcycle. They had a terrible accident. He didn't make it. She was in the hospital for almost a year before she got out. So those haunted objects, you never challenge them. They're not games. They're not fun to sit there and play with them online for communication and all that stuff. Because if you don't know what you're doing with them, you're going to get yourself hurt, or you're going to get your family hurt by bringing them into the house, because it's going to prey on your children first. And anybody that has a disability to them are weak to them demonic items, and they're going to prey upon it. So you do not want to, you want to be very careful. I'm not saying not to collect them, but know what you're doing with them, because they are dangerous. Get training for it if you're going to do haunted objects and have a haunted object museum. Reach out to my family. I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you about it and instruct you on it. I'm sure my cousin John Zaffis will too. Tony will. Wade was a caretaker for many years of those items, so he's a ball full of knowledge. Reach out to Wade. He'll help you. He'll give you some pointers. But don't think you're headstrong and going to go, oh, I'm going to get these items and I'm going to play with them. Because chances are you're going to get hurt with them. And that's like these people that are posting videos that are, oh, I'm going to go to the Warrens Occult Museum and I'm going to hug Annabelle. Mm-hmm. No, you're not. You will not hug Annabelle. So I don't know why you're feeding people that you're going to hug Annabelle, because you will not touch Annabelle. You may see her in a case, but you will not touch her. And Carol goes, are you reading my mind? I was going to ask if there was an event with a couple on a motorcycle was true. Yeah, that was true. Yeah. That did happen. They do have pictures of it, of the motorcycle crash.
Tell Carol I knew she was going to ask that question.
She can hear you.
Yeah. I knew you were going to ask that question.
But yeah, playing with them is no joke. I mean, but people treating it like it's a game, it's not a game. You got these people that are going to the Warrens Occult Museum, and Nesper's not going to allow it. I can tell you that much, for touching Annabelle. I can tell you right now, Rick will not let you touch Annabelle. You may get a picture of her, but she'll stay in her case. You will not hug her. I don't know. You're saying you're a professional psychic and you're going to hug Annabelle? I can tell you right now, you're not. I don't even know why you put that out there. You're not allowed to touch anything in that museum. And that is strict rules handed down from Ed himself and passed on to Tony and Judy. So they are very strict when it comes to that stuff in there. And some of that stuff is very old and brittle. You do not want to be touching it. And like I said, we've got dolls in there that are also dangerous. And those dolls up there in there will hurt you as well. Hey, Mad Paranormal, welcome in. They will hurt you too, our dolls that are in there. That Buddha sing bowl we got in there will hurt you. It's got something demonic attached to that as well. So is that book that we got in there. It almost killed us coming home from a Paracon in Kansas City. We had it in the trunk of the car, and we almost got killed in downtown Kansas City with it. Guy ran a stoplight doing 80 as I was making the turn when I had the green light. And if I didn't step on it, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. We both would have been dead. And that stuff also was giving a team bad vibes there at a Paracon that we had it at. And that thing, I had to respray it down with holy water. And a ceiling fell in at the end of the Paracon with over 10 gallons of water. So that's what I'm saying. You need to know what you're doing if you're going to handle haunted objects.
Like I said before, it's not a game.
People that go to events and saying that they would want to touch any of those items would definitely need to find out why they wouldn't even want to do that. Yeah, exactly. And when Dan moved Annabelle, if you watch the video, you will see a lot of people don't look at this at the end of it. That man is sitting there literally shaking because he was scared. And if you notice, he holds her way out here away from his body when he moved her. And that was only one time he's moved her.
And plus the priest in there too.
Plus Father Bob's there. Father Bob Bailey's there blessing the museum. And he was there the night Dan moved her. You just didn't see him in the video because he was outside behind the scenes with Wade. I got to see the behind the scenes footage of it all that other people didn't get to see. So, and this is the reason why Ed had these things locked up. People ask me all the time, why don't you just burn it? Why don't you just bury it? You may burn it, you may bury it, but you're just destroying the vessel. You're not destroying the entity that's in that vessel using it. You're just releasing it back into the world, just like releasing an animal that you rehabilitated back into the wild. And that entity is just going to come back and look for something else to go after. That's why his theory was to keep them locked up. Keep them off the street, keep the entity attached to that vessel, and that's where it stays. And them taking it out on tour, that's why you always seen Father Bob with them. Because Father Bob kept it contained by keeping it bound. You saw the black sheet over it with the crucifixes on it. All that stuff is blessed. When they traveled with her, they blessed the vehicle, everything. And when they're in the vehicle, they don't dwell on them. And Rick told me a story when they had Annabelle on tour. They actually had to bring her into the hotel room with them because of people try to steal it or something. And they were sitting there, him and Wade. Rick was going through his phone, and all of a sudden they hear a loud snap and the lights flicker. And they see a ball of light. Hey, Barbara, welcome in.
Welcome in, Barbara.
And they seen this flash of light. Well, they didn't know, and it ended up in the corner of the room. They didn't know what it was. And so Rick opened the sheet up a little bit just to look at Annabelle, make sure there was no burn marks, nothing. Well, Chris had heard them. He was in the next room over, and he calls him. He says calls the guy, says, "What's going on?" And Rick had told Chris about it. So Ryan Buell come over, and he says, "I'm going to hang out with you guys for a while." And then they asked Chris if the lights flickered over there, and Chris said, "No, nothing happened." And so Ryan hung out, and it happened again. And the lights in the room almost went completely dark, and they seen that big flash of light and heard that snap again. That sounded like a how electricity sounds. And then they didn't hear nothing for the rest of the night, but they had Annabelle in that room with them. And Rick you can watch that on a past live on Overnight's channel too. Rick talked about it as well with Annabelle. And you people going to the Warrens' house in the occult museum, you need to be respectful of those items down there. Because you go into that house and start thinking you're big and bad and start challenging this, challenging that, and provoking this, provoking that, you're going to wake that museum up real quick. And that's right down in the basement. So you got to be well aware, and that's why you're supervised in the museum at the house. For that simple fact, because of how dangerous those items are. And people that just let them run freely into their house, you can't do that. You're letting them run free. You're letting that dark entity run through your house like it owns the place. You need to encase them, bless them, and stuff like that, because if you don't and you letting it run through your house, it's going to wreak havoc through your whole house and your family, everything. Animals, that's why animals react. You notice they'll growl, they'll get very protective. Animals can see a dark entity at their true form. They may disguise themselves to you and I as a human being, but the animals see them because they have a different line of vision with them, because they can see in the dark and stuff like that. So they see these entities at their true form. That's why your darker stuff kills animals and your pets, because your pets give them away and stuff like that. And that's why if you watch a pet in your house, if it starts acting weird, fur starts going up, it starts growling, or it's scared, with a demonic, they get scared. They won't go in a room. They won't even come in a house at all. I mean, like you see in the Conjuring movie where he tries to pull the dog in and the dog won't come in. That's what will happen. You got anything you want to add?
No. You said it all.
And we got about 5 minutes left. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to post them. We'll answer some questions. If you want to know more about Annabelle, or
tell Carol to bring her crew on.
Yeah, Carol, video call me after we get done here.
And bring your crew on.
I mean, again, before we get off, for the ones that are just tuning in, we just got confirmed we will be at Crypticon KC this year. Make sure you get your tickets, because this will sell out fast. This is the first year they're bringing the paranormal to this Crypticon. I know they bring the paranormal to their Minneapolis one in Minnesota, but this is the first year they're doing paranormal at the Kansas City one, and we are the paranormal headliners for it. We will be doing a panel this year, paranormal panel, so come on out. We will be talking about the Warrens Occult Museum. We'll be showing evidence of stuff we've captured on cases and talk about cases and stuff like that.
You only seen part of it.
Yep. So now that the museum's off the road, we can still show you pictures of the museum and talk about the items and stuff, talk about Ed and Lorraine and stuff like that. And we enjoy history, keeping our family's legacy alive and talking about this stuff and educating people. That's what they did. That's what we do. And we're going to continue to do it. no matter what. Also, for you people that are just tuning in, keep an eye out. We are building equipment. So we will be having equipment for sale very soon. T-shirts, 3D printed Annabelle dolls with their little houses. And when you buy one, they will be autographed. So by us, and then we're going to take a few and get them autographed by our family. So we'll be having a bunch of stuff. We've got several Paracons coming up. We are confirmed for Bordertown. I'm just waiting for them to put the flyer out for that. We are at the West Kentucky Paranormal Expo in September. My dad and I will be guest speaking there. Aaron G. Thompson's the headliner this year. And it's at Mayfield, Kentucky at the fairgrounds. If you're interested in vending, reach out to Ken 10 Paranormal. Kent Wilson, a buddy of ours. And we got a whole line of speakers. Our buddies Outlaw Paranormal, Aaron G. Thompson speaking, Rachel DeMarco, the 202 podcast, Teps Investigate, Josh Morris, another good friend of ours. So, yeah, come on out and check that out.
If you got any questions?
Carol goes, I love hearing the information that you share. Always need to keep learning. Yep. And we keep learning too. I still do a lot of reading. Anything I could still learn, I always do. I mean, there's always something to learn in this field. That's why nobody's professionals. There's no experts in this field. We're all pretty much the same, and we're just here to educate, and we learn ourselves every time we go out. There's always something new. I mean, first time I dealt with an elemental, and I've never dealt with one of them before. Same with the human pendulum. I learned the human pendulum, and I never even knew that experiment existed till I saw it for the first time and got to try it. And so if you got any more questions, feel free to post them up. We'll stay on for a few more minutes, and but next Saturday, tune in. My guest is Tim Splain, he's from England. He wrote the book Behind the Veil, and he will be on with me, well-known guest. He'll be on with me next Saturday. We'll be talking about his book, and I believe he's going to do a live demonstration for us too, right on the podcast. So that is one you don't want to miss next Saturday. It's going to be a good one. I'm sorry we didn't get on this Saturday, but we were at our cousin's house working on equipment and stuff like that. And we didn't get home till late last night. So, but yeah, be sure to be on the lookout for equipment. We can also customize them too for you. If you want your team name or logo on them, we can do that as well. So be on the lookout. We're just in the experimental stage of them. These will be field tested. So, because where we're building them at, the place is haunted. So is the land. So these equipment will be field tested before they're sent out. We are hoping to have them on sale at the Paracons this year. So be sure to check those out. We'll be putting up a merch store as well. We do have cat ball holders as well. My cousin made, so the whole cat balls, so they're not rolling all over the place. So they can just sit still, and a spirit can come and knock them in the holder to light them up. I tested them out yesterday, and they work good. So, and then, like I said, we'll have T-shirts coming soon, posters, 3D printed pictures, stuff like that. So, guess nobody has any questions for us. We're gonna go ahead and pay the bills again one time with our sponsors video. If you guys are interested in these children's books, feel free to check them out. Here's the video.
I sing out loud, my voice lifts hearts. Tucker House proud when the music starts. Sawyer plays the keys, soul through sound. Carson's guitar shakes the ground. We're the dream team, and we love to sing. Tucker backs us up, he's such an amazing pup. He keeps the rhythm.
And there's the video. If you're interested in those books, the QR code, you can scan it. The link is in the chat here for Crypticon to get tickets. They do have different packages to choose from. If you get the gold, I believe it's the gold VIP pack, that sells out quick. I think that's like $300, but that gives you access to the actors the night for the VIP party, the VIP dinner with the actors. The VIP tickets also get you in 30 minutes before general admission. So you get access to the actors and everything before they actually open for general admission. It starts on a Friday, goes all the way through Sunday. They have live bands there too.
Yeah.
It's right there at the hotel. So the hotel books up quick too, because that's where a lot of the actors stay. From what I saw, it's going to be a good line of horror movie actors. Tyler Mane is going to be there, which many of you probably know him from. He played Michael Myers in the Rob Zombie version of Halloween. Derek Meeks is also going to be there, who played Jason on the Friday the 13th remake. There's some from The Walking Dead that are going to be there this year. Some from Critters, and so check out their page. The link is in the chat room for Crypticon Convention Kansas City. They also do one in Minneapolis also later, I believe in September they do that one. But we are at Crypticon this year. We are doing the paranormal panel this year. This is their first year doing the paranormal. So make sure you guys come on out. Come talk to us. Find our booth we'll be at. Talk to us about Ed and Lorraine. Come check out the panel. I'll know more. They're still in the process of putting everything together because it's later this year. It's in August this year. Usually they have it like the end of June, first part of July, but this year they moved it to August. So, and people come from all over the world to check out this convention. The cosplayers, they do costume contests. They do the best horror movie tattoos there, which is judged by independent tattoo company who sponsors Crypticon. If you do have a horror movie tattoo from them, you cannot enter it. I found that out. So, but if you want tattoos, they'll be there tattooing all that weekend too as well. They're all good buddies of ours. Definitely check them out if you want a tattoo. They're all good tattoo artists, especially Jimmy Israel. He's a buddy of ours and a supporter of ours. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Again, tune in this Saturday, next coming Saturday, for Tim Splain, straight from England. And he's going to be on talking about his book. He's a best-selling author and doing, I believe, like I said, he's going to do a live demonstration of Beyond the Veil. So that's going to be an awesome show. And then my dad and I will be back again next Sunday night as well.
Yeah. Tell them.
They are. Yep. So that being said, everybody have a good night. Remember, if you're being bullied in the paranormal field, you do have a voice. Nobody's better than anybody in this field. We're off after the same common goal, to prove the existence of life after death. There should be no egos in this field, no competition. There's enough room for everybody in this field in paranormal. Enough with the bullying, the drama, the backstabbing, the talking crap about people, sabotaging people, and kicking people out of events because of it. So, with that being said,
God bless all you.
God bless everyone. Have a good night.
And our hearts are with you.
And we will see you all next Saturday night. Same time, same channel. And we'll see you again Sunday night as well. Same time, same channel. Everybody have a good night. God bless.
Yeah.
See you next week.